Today I am making a tiramisu dessert. This Italian dessert's real popular all over the world, and it is really good. As I've mentioned many times, I don't like the alcohol in things unless it's cooked out. I love the flavor, but I don't like the alcohol taste. So what I'm going to do, I'm adding marsala to my espresso, and I'm going to put this on the stove and let it boil a little bit just to get the alcohol out of it. If you like alcohol, just put it in. That's the way most people make it. But if you have children or you don't like the alcohol like myself, just put it on and let it boil a few minutes, and it takes all the alcohol out but leaves a great flavor. So I'm going to step over and put this on the stove and bring it to a boil. Now I've set the espresso and the marsala off to cool. It's in a pan of cold water cooling, so we'll be ready for it while we mix up the custard to put in the dessert. First I have some whipping cream. And then I have some sugar. We have some egg yolks. And then I'm going to add a little bit of flour. And between the yolks and the flour, it will thicken up as it cooks. So I'm just going to whip this all together, blend it together, and then I'm going to step over the stove again, and I'm going to cook it for a few minutes until it's thickened, and then we'll put the dessert together. Okay, the custard has started to thicken, and I'm going to set it in some cold water to cool, but the whole time you have it on the stove cooking, just take your whip and just keep going around so it doesn't stick, and the flour dissolves in it and everything. So I'm going to get take the espresso out of the cold water, and I'm going to put this in there to cool, so we'll be ready for it. This recipe is usually set up in like a 8-inch square dish of some sort or a cake pan. But for special occasions, I like to make it in individual servings, so that's what I'm doing with this recipe today. And I have my coffee with the marsala here, and what I'm going to start doing is dipping the lady fingers in the coffee. And I'm just going to place them along the sides of the dishes. Just kind of push them down to the sides. You can see how I've lined the dish, and I'm going to do the rest of the dishes like that. When they're soft, you can kind of shape them to the bowl. And soaking them softens a bump like that. For some reason, I usually use more lady fingers than what most people do, but I like the cookie base to them. Get that a little soaked a little more. If you like the flavor of the coffee, you may want to make a little extra so you can soak them really good. I'm running low on it now, so if you like that coffee flavor, I would mix up a little more. One left here. This one in here. Okay, there I have 4. Now I'm going to step over and see if the custard is cool enough to put in, and we'll follow up with it. Okay, the custard is cool enough to proceed on. So I've got a mixing bowl, and I'm going to put in the mascarpone cheese. I have 16 ounces of cheese here. had this cheese setting out at room temperature so it beats up smoother. So I'm just going to mix it together so it's smooth. Okay, and then I'm going to add the custard in with it. And then I'm going to add a little coffee liqueur and a little vanilla. Got that blended. What I'm going to do is set this in the refrigerator while I mix up some whipped cream to go on top, and then we'll put the tiramisu together. While the custard is setting up in the refrigerator, I'm going to go ahead and whip the topping up. I've got some more whipping cream here, and as I beat it, I'm going to gradually add into it some powdered sugar. nice and stiff. You can see how stiff it is. That's the way you want it. Okay, now I'm going to set this aside for a minute, and I'm going to get the custard out of the refrigerator. Okay, I'm ready to put the dessert together. I'm going to first scoop some custard in them. Just want to fill them up. Okay, you just want to fill each cup up full. That way the whipping cream will be setting right on top. And as these set up, we won't be eating them until tomorrow, so setting in the refrigerator, they will all firm up. Okay, I think those are full enough. So now, find a place to sit something. Now I'm going to take a pastry bag and put some of the whipped cream in it. You just want to decorate the top of it with whipped cream. However you like it. Out of whack. Just scoop some of this on here. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, all tiramisu seems to have some cocoa powder on it. So I'm going to set these all together, and I'm just going to dust them with some cocoa powder. then I made some cherries, cut them like fans. And I have some leaves here. Some of them look prettier than others, so I'm just going to. Here we are, and we're just topping them, and they're ready to serve as soon as they set up.